professional, Dr. Asita also holds a Bachelor of Science in Biotechnology from University Tunku Abdul Rahman. Ladies and gentlemen, she is an Assistant Executive Editor of the International Journal of Advancement in Life Sciences Research. She also has published articles in index and non-index journal, authored books, chapters, and edited 6 books, including obesity and its impact on health. Welcome, Dr. Asita. We have also another cherished person, Dr. Hazrina Hamid from School of Pharmacy, Lincoln University College. Associate Professor Dr. Hazrina serves as the Dean of the Faculty Pharmacy at Lincoln University College with over 30 years of experience in clinical pharmacy. She has been driving force in advancing pharmacy education and practice. She is very dedicated to her excellence, is reflected in her mentorship of undergraduate, diploma, and master level pharmacy students, particularly in areas such as dispensing practice, clinical pharmacokinetics, and community pharmacy. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Dr. Hazrina Hamid. Doctor, the floor is yours.
The first presenter is Miss Yulia. Okay, Miss Yulia, you are given 5 minutes for your presentation and 2 minutes for question and answer.
Please adjust the mic according to your
In this opportunity, I would like to present barriers and facilitate the care women newly diagnosed with breast cancer implication for quality of life. Okay. First, I will explain to you about the background. Breast cancer is a significant public health condition with an increasing incidence over the past decade. Receiving breast cancer diagnosis can be an overwhelming and transformative experience for many women. This diagnosis often brings a multitude of persistent stressors, including anxious wait for diagnosis, the challenges of undergoing surgery, the fear of metastasis, coping with side effects, and the ongoing concern of disease recurrence. And cancer diagnosis not only affects patients but also has profound implications for their families and caregivers, potentially leading to physical, cognitive, and psychological impairment, as well as financial concern and social isolation. Family Center Care, FCC, which involves active participation of family members in their patient's treatment and recovery, has been recognized as an important factor in enhancing the quality of life of women with breast cancer. However, implementing FCC in breast cancer care faces various barriers. In this study tried to explore the barriers and facilitate FCC for women newly diagnosed with breast cancer implications for their quality of life. The material and methods, a systematic sort of the partner Medline, Progress Science Direct, Scopus, Web of Science, and a Cochrane database was conducted using the PRISMA guidelines. Qualitative studies with available abstract and full text, which were published in English, published between 2019 to 2024. The strategy used to formulate the review was the PICO model, and a total of 2,295 articles were retrieved and screened. 10 studies addressing the barriers and facilitator of FCC were included in the final review based on inclusion and exclusion criteria. The critical appraisal skill programs checklist was used to critically appraise the quality and rigor of selected study. As a result, FCC for women newly diagnosed with breast cancer is crucial to enhance their quality of life. This approach involves integrating family members into the care process, recognizing their role as caregivers, and addressing their needs alongside those of the patient. However, several barriers and facilitators impact the implementation of FCC, which in turn affect the quality of life of both patients and their families. There are five categories barrier of FCC. The first one is healthcare system constraint. There are the lack of standardization and system-level implementation of FCC models in oncology setting poses significant barriers, as healthcare system often focus on medical and treatment-driven approaches, sidelining in the integration of FCC practice. The second is communication challenges. Effective communication is a cornerstone of FCC.
You can go to your last slide. Time's up.
Okay, thank you. Yes, and how about the facilitator? There are four categories too. The first one, supportive resources, healthcare navigation and community engagement, training and communication, and the last one is integrated care models. So to conclude, while the implementation of FCC care faces several challenges, it is essential to recognize the potential benefits of this approach. By addressing barriers at multiple levels, individual, international, and systemic, healthcare system can create more inclusive and supportive environment for patients and their families. This requires a concerted effort to standardize FCC practice, improve communication, and engage communities, particularly those marginalized one, and to build trust and enhance access to care. Thank you.
Thank you, Vidya. My question is, you did mention that 10 studies meet your research criteria, right? So, do you put into consideration on their lifestyle, background, races, etc.?
Sorry, pardon me. I can't judge you.
Alright, you did mention that 10 studies meet the research criteria, the FCC.
Yes, FCC.
So, do you put into consideration on their lifestyle, background, races, family ties, socio-economy? Did you put that into consideration on the in the FCC? Can you show me? Do you have the form that showing that you include this? Yeah, the criteria. Yeah, FCC criteria. What is the criteria that you put in for you to analyze this?
Why I choose this FCC
Yeah, from your study. Criteria.
Oh, sorry. Oh, criteria. So there are some criteria, inclusion and exclusion. It is systematic review. So there are some criteria. For example, I use people. For example, population is women and women and families and their families. So this is increase, population increase and published between 5 years ago. And the intervention is family center FCC. So the intervention is this so the
Using somebody else form, right? So you must put adopted from where? You must mention. Yeah?
Prisma.
Okay.
So I don't put here.
Yeah, that's
Because
all.
they live in the yeah.
Okay. Alright. Any other question from floors?
Since no any questions from the floor, we just proceed. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we can proceed to the next one. Goro Bintang. Okay, please come. So her topic is the role of the parental presence during anesthesia induction in children, a systematic review.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lintang Suryani. I'm from Indonesia. Today I would like to present my study. The title is The Role of Parents' Presence During Anesthesia Induction Children, Systematic Review. For the introduction, preoperative anxiety is a vague and uncomfortable feeling of unknown cause. It causes the body to respond through an unexpected hemodynamic chain due to sympathetic, parasympathetic, and endocrine stimulation. From several previous studies have mentioned the prevalence of preoperative anxiety in children and adolescents up to 70%. In another study, at 2016 reported that around 65 until 18% of children experience preoperative anxiety. And the other previous study, we can look at the slide. The preoperative anxiety in children can because longer induction times, longer anesthesia duration, and longer recovery times. In addition, the long-term impact of untreated preoperative anxiety can cause children to experience delirium, enuresis, tantrum, apathy, withdrawal, eating disorders, nightmare, sleep disorders, and even behavior change. Preoperative anxiety in children can occur due to trauma from separation from parents, separation from home, and the surrounding environment that is familiar to the child. Surgical instruments that are frightening for the children and the others. Therefore, parental presence during anesthesia induction, or PPIA, is a non-pharmacological method that is frequently utilized to control this anxiety in order to overcome such condition. The presence of parents during induction of anesthesia is believed to be able to create a more emotional supportive environment for the child. The next slide, we can see the gaps and objective research although the benefit of parental presence has acknowledged, many students previously only focus on aspect individual, especially in anxiety child, without investigate effect holistic from presence of related parents with aspect emotional, psychological, or clinic. So, based on this, the objective research, this study will evaluate role presence of parents to anxiety children and parents, compliance child during induction anesthesia, as well as parental satisfaction through data analysis system. The study accordance with PRISMA guidelines and the data collected through structured search on online database like Scopus, Embase, PubMed, and Web of Science. And the keyword in this study, I use parents and experience and child and induction and anesthesia. The approach I use is the PICO framework, with population is child age 0 until 18 years, surgery elective, without history, disease chronic heavy, and the intervention, I'm sorry, it's not complete. The intervention is presence of parents, and the compare with group without presence of parents or with intervention addition others. And the outcome is anxiety children and parents, parental satisfaction, and compliance child. The others limitation, there are article published since 2014 until 24 English article and full text article. In the data extraction, the author put it into the table, including title, article, author, year published, study design, number of participants, intervention, outcome measure, measure used, main findings, data processing techniques, method, result, limitation, future research, and group application. There is a PRISMA diagram to identification of studies via database and registers. The article used in this study are taken from Ford database with 239 with 7 duplicate and 128 article using automation limitation tools. At the beginning, the total number of articles screened was 104 and 86 articles were excluded. After screen, we have 18 articles, was 6 articles not retrieved. Article reports assessed for eligibility were 12 and 7 articles were excluded. So at the end, this study included for review are 5 articles. And the discussion based on the result of review of 5 articles that have been conducted, we have 3 main topics to answer the research objective. There are child anxiety and parents, parental satisfaction, and child compliance during anesthesia induction. For anxiety children and parents, presence of parents proven in reduced anxiety child during induction anesthesia.
Conclusion, time's up.
Okay. Maybe for conclusion, the systematic review highlight the important role of parental presence during anesthesia induction in children, particularly in reducing anxiety, improving compliance, and enhancing parental satisfaction. While the findings suggest significant benefit, they also underline that needed integrated approach to optimize outcome in pediatric anesthesia care. Maybe that's all my presentation, and thanks for the attention.
Thank you, Roro. Any questions? question from floor? Yes, please.
Yes, the mic.
Assalamualaikum. I introduce myself. My name is Indri. I'm from Harapan University, Indonesia. I want to ask about your study. How about the limitation of your study? Maybe you can explain that. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Miss. About what?
The limitation.
Limitation. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Indri, for the question. Yeah. I think from my study, I have some limitation about this. Like the study have limited population study. Most of the studies analyzed in my SLR only included children with elective surgery and minor and with maybe ASA 1 and ASA 2. So maybe to finding may not be generalized from the result because it just 5 articles. And the others is the variability in method and intervention, I think, because in 5 study include combination between PPAI with other intervention like with intervention pharmacological or other distraction. So I must berhati-hati. Carefully, be careful to make a conclusion from 5 article. Maybe that's Miss Indri. Thank you.
Thank you. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Shall I go call for the next participant here? Yenny Sima. Please welcome her. Topic: participation of social assistance in improving the quality of life, of the elderly, systemic effect.
Good afternoon. My topic is participation in social support in improving the quality of life of elderly and systematic review. Federal Contents, Introduction, Method, Intended Outcome. From Susanas 2014, the elderly population in Indonesia 20.24 billion people. In the year 2019, the Indonesian Ministry of Health project that it would increase by 41 million people in the year 2025. From 2015 and 24 life expectancy with us, previously 70.78 years, become 72.89 years. And it is projected the total with which 65.82 million people or 20.81% of the total population. The large elderly population creates opportunities for the second demographic bonus, where the elderly as non-productive residents still play a role in development. Method: the systematic literature review method as searches on Google Scholar, Scopus, and PubMed for the period to 2019 to 2024. The review focused on literature potential relevant to the topic. At the identification stage, 1,309 journal articles. At the screening stage, based on the inclusion and exclusion criteria, 10 literatures were collected as data collection. Quality of problem recording. To several studies for year 2019 to 2024 are feelings of loneliness and isolation, degrades cognitive, physical, psycho-social function, barrier to accessing health service and social support, limit mobile, lack of information, and financial constraints. The main finding of the quality of life of the elderly are summarized into 5 factors based on several studies from year 2019 to 2024, namely family support quality factor, sense of responsibility, emotional and cognitive factor, religiosity, and elderly assistance. These 5 factors will result in increased social participation, emotional support, and empowerment
Sorry,
of
can you
families.
please go to your last slide, conclusion, please? Thank you.
Conclusion. Jelas. Conclusion, right?
Outcome:
Conclusion.
social participation has a significant positive impact on the quality of life of the elderly. 2. Emotional support increase social interaction higher physical activity attribute to the emotional and physical well-being of elderly adults. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Yeni. Alright, I have a question. Do the review include the socio-economy of the elderly, knowing that the assistance is not free? Do your review include the socio-economy of the elderly?
Criteria.
Yes, the criteria, does it include the socio-economy? Because the assistance is not free.
Criteria.
Jangan disamakan sama dengan pertanyaannya mau berapa Pak Arif? Saya udah. Dia juga.
It's okay. Miss Yeni, it's okay, never mind. We just proceed to the next person. Thank you very much for your presentation. Thank you.
Masya Allah, Pak Arif.
Can I call the next presenter? Lin Aini, Firman Sham.
Wih, Mr. Firman. Wush.
So your topic is enhancing safety awareness through self-assessment, insight from nurses in public hospitals.
Ini keempat ini. Empat, satu lagi saya.
Abang, paling.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Firman Sham. I come from Indonesia. It's very nice to be here. Please let me present the presentation about enhancing safety awareness through self-assessment insight from nurses in public hospital. The background, as we know that the nurses is the frontline health worker, and they have a long period contact with the patients. So they have more potential to harm, especially infection. January to 20 till May to 2021, WHO said that 6,643 healthcare workers died by COVID-19, but much greater than official reported. And the importance of safety awareness in healthcare, provide high quality health service, the safety of each and every patient deserve to given the highest priority. So, and role of the nurses in ensuring patient safety. The nurses who provide direct patient care are essential in identifying safe risks, thereby preventing errors and incidents. In addition, their qualifications are essential in the recovery process. I tried to collect 10 articles from AI paper assistant under 5 years, under 2025 published. And the main objective is to find the role of self-assessment enhancing safety awareness among nurses working in public hospital, and specific objectives to examine the effectiveness of self-assessment tools in improving nurses' understanding of safety practice and procedures. The second, to develop and evaluate a tailored self-assessment program aimed to improving safety awareness and promoting culture of safety within public hospital nursing teams. And third, to provide recommendation for the integration of self-assessment strategies into nursing education and professional development programs to enhance safety awareness and patient outcomes. The research gap, there are limited research especially addressing the role of self-assessment enhancing safety awareness among nurses in public hospital setting. Lack of research that specially investigate the impact of self-assessment on enhancing safety awareness among nurses in public hospital setting. Need for more studies that focus on the specific context of public hospital in different regions or countries. Majority of the studies have used cross-sectional survey design, and there is a need for more in-depth longitudinal or mixed method studies. Finding summary: identify areas for improvement and inform strategies. And second, identify gaps and inform targeted training interventions. Can be used to assess medication safety practice, maintain competence and provide high quality care. Comparing nurses' self-assessment can identify areas for improvement. Self-assessment methods should be combined with direct observation to ensure a more comprehensive assessment. Outcome: obtain nursing gaps and improvement nursing competency, job demands and job performance. Implementation medication safety practice, achieving comprehensive understanding and good work environment. And the last, improvement of patient safety quality. Limitation: most studies have been conducted in a single clinical setting, which may limit the generalizability of the findings. Self-assessment method may not always accurately reflect actual behavior.
Can you please go to your conclusion, please?
Okay. Conclusion: to improve nurses' safety awareness, it needs to be find their weakness and strength by self-assessment. Self-assessment will better if it's combined with direct observation. And self-assessment of nurses is the beginning to build a good worker that improve work safety and patient safety in hospital. I think so. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Firman. Just one question for you. Do you compare before and after, which is the self-assessment, covering which area of safety? Before and after.
Can you repeat? Yeah.
Before and after.
Do you compare before and after? Before the assessment and after the assessment.
Bandingkan, Pak. Membandingkan.
No comparing.
Okay, so you just conclude with what you did.
Sorry. Most of the studies is just no experiment. The articles that I got just taking data, the awareness of the nurses. No experiment before and after the studies. Just just descriptive.
So you just need the conclusion from it.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Can I call the next participant? Lin Aini. Are you here?
Yep.
So the topic is effect of century model training on spirituality and spiritual care of nursing students.
Tahu lah ibu kalau saya nggak injak tanah dari situ.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everybody. I will present my dissertation, entitled Effect of Santri Model Training on Religiositas and Spiritual Care of Nursing Students. In recent years, there has been an increasing number of studies on the positive impact of religious and spiritual approach in the physical and mental health of patients. Spiritual care is not only the fundamental aspect of holistic practice in nursing that is not yet standard across countries. However, findings suggest that nurses consistently report that they feel prepared to provide spiritual care for various reasons. One of the main reasons is the lack of structured spiritual care engagement in the undergraduate nursing community. However, their rating of competency in providing spiritual care very high, a greater understanding of spirituality, nursing practicing holistic care can improve their spiritual care competencies and implement spiritual care into practice. Developing spirituality and spiritual care competent in nursing students is very important. Some of the findings where the student spiritual well-being score very low. So the effort are needed to improve spirituality and spiritual care in students. One way is to monitor worship activity and understanding religions and spirituality. Material and method pre-experience study, pre-post test design, population sample of 75 nursing studies students of the Faculty of Health Science, Hafsah Teacher Hasan University. Statistic test, we use test. Pretest, the data collection instrument in the study in the Center of Religiosity Scale, GRS 5 and spiritual careers. Using the spiritual care competency scale to show
ambil alih. Saya tidak mau tahu, ambil alih. Saya tidak mau menerima.
The concept of spiritual care is using the 3H approach, head, hand, and heart, and has been validated with expert in the form of module. The intervention was given for 2 months with 8 meetings. The data collection is GRS and SGGS post-test. Result, demographic, data intervention group, variable, age, 19 gender, majority female and semester in 5 and 6. Training of spiritual care, majority no training spiritual care before. And the result, religiositas before and after intervention. p-value 0.000, there is main and significant intervention and spiritual care before and after intervention in intervention care. Differentnya 318 and p-value-nya 0.000 and significant effect intervention. Discussion. Student as santri alive in boarding school have got attitude and character, so that they are able to manage emotion and stress. The santri model is the first milestone in introduction religious knowledge, strength, nurse competency, and career nursing care. By practicing and understanding and implementing the 9 main values of santri as a pillar of education and religion, Islamic religion. Genggong, and with the 3H approach, hit, hand, and heart, is an interdisciplinary strategy.
The conclusion slide, please. Thank you.
Conclusion, based on the result, the santri model method can increase the religiosity and spiritual care of nursing students. The author recommendation of use of santri model of spiritual care to improve religiosity and spiritual care in nursing student and nurse. Further investigation is needed to clarify how to address this shortcoming in this santri model training. Recommendation advice for nurse education curriculum and healthcare policy change. The santri model need to be followed up as a holistic care and complementary method to increase the self-confidence of nursing students and nurse in health service that have an impact on the ability to meet the spiritual need and quality of life of patients. Thanks.
Thank you, Lin Aini. Any question from floors? Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. Introduce, my name is Vivian Febrina. I come from Indonesia, West Sumatra. I'm very interested about with your santri model. Can you tell me about santri model? Thank you.
Thank you. In Hafsawati University, nursing students live in boarding school, Islamic boarding school, all nursing students. And in Islamic boarding school, nursing students are required participate in activity in boarding school, like prayer to 5 times together, recite holy book, and reading Quran, Sunnah prayer, and students also give special prayer lesson including prayer when carrying or